Okay, I guess I'm live. I don't know what's going on. I haven't known what's been going on for the last hour or so. So I see that Carolyn is watching. That's good. Carolyn, tell me if I'm upside down, backwards, sideways, and I'll adjust things. Lori Corbett's watching. Let me see. Tell me, somebody, if I'm upside down or backwards. I'm good. Okay. Well, I have no lonely screen today, so you're not going to be able to see that. But I will there put my card. I'm going to be showing you some of the papers from my... I'm very frustrated right now. I can't find any of my dies. I don't know where they are. I found some new ones, but not the one I was looking for. This is our Daffodil. Oh, what are we going to call it? This is Daffodil Afternoon. This is one of the free papers you can get with Celebration. So I've highlighted some of the DSP for you, and I'll be giving you measurements to make a Slimline card. We have brought into our collection of items in our spring catalog these beautiful Slimline envelopes. There is one that looks to be soft succulent, and it's decorated on the inside. Here's one that looks to be smoky slate or Sahara sand, and this one is a little darker. I guess this one might be smoky slate. So there's the three different colors you can get. They come in a pack of 10. No, maybe they come in a pack of 15. Let me look. They come in a pack of 15, and they're called Slimline envelopes. And they will be in your new catalog. And this catalog is the mini catalog, January to June. There are some wonderful things in there, and coming your way on the coming Sundays, I'll be showing you how to make some of these cards. Hopefully by then I can get things straightened out. I'm also going to be showing you some things that you can get free with a $50 order. And this set of papers is one of them. This set of papers. So let me show you some of those papers. Here is some large flowers. And on the reverse side is a nice tattersall. I can see pairing those to make spring cards. Then we've got one of these that you can cut it in half and have panels. What's backwards? The words? Let me see if I can change the backwards. This way? Or this way? I don't know which one is backwards. This one? Is it still backwards? How about, is this backwards? That's upside down. Okay. Let me fix that. There. Now how are we? Yes, that's good. Okay. I'm working blind here, ladies, so bear with me. So, the papers. And this is the other side, the stripe, in looks like Flirty Flamingo and Pale Papaya. Then we've got this dark green with Mossy Meadow, some other colors that are going to escape me right now. And there's one, well, that'll be upside down there. And then one with the daffodils. And on the other side is Pale Papaya. Okay, welcome, welcome. Sandy, thank you for joining me. Here is another, this is an A side with daffodils just on crushed curry. The B side is black with little plus marks. And then this is a variety of daisies and daffodils, nice spring flowers. And then on the back is a medallion in the crushed curry. So these are, let me see if I can figure out, Evening Evergreen, Mint Macaron, Pear Pizzazz, all of those are in here. Pear Pizzazz, Evening Evergreen with black backgrounds. So, this is one of our papers that is going to be that's going to be a free product with a $50 order. And this is the January host code. If you order, go to my website. It's Susan Carlson at stampinup.net. And that's where you will see my store and you can order from me. Any questions, please don't hesitate to email me or text me. So here's the card we worked on today. Because I can't find my dies, I used two of the images from the stamp set. I used the narrow daffodil and I used this little trellis. Now you could finish it off with a sentiment, either Easter blessings or Happy Mother's Day. I chose not to put either one on there. You can put any sentiment that you want that goes along with the occasion that you're trying to help celebrate. So here is the card. I have taken, I've made a base. I've put some very vanilla on the back because I've chosen to put these on all cattywonkers. And so when there's a space, there'll be some of that very vanilla showing through. And then I've stamped with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, the daffodil, the single daffodil, and then colored it with my my Stampin' blends, dark mango, light daffodil delight, and both light and dark mossy meadow. I have stamped the little trellis looking thing with Flirty Flamingo. So let me give you the dimensions. We're going to take a full sheet of Daffodil Delight. I'm going to bring up my handy dandy trimmer, put the arm out because I need a 9-inch piece. So I've got a piece left over to work with. Now I'm going to crease it, score it at 3 7/8. I'm going to turn it around. No, I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to put my score line at 3 7/8. And cut it. And here I've got the dimensions of my Slimline card. So that's, let me score it, or use my bone folder to crease it. So that is 9 inches this way, and then scored at 3 7/8, and then trimmed off so that you've got even dimensions. Now for the top of the card, I'm going to cut this. Because it was 3 7/8, I'm going to go down 1/4 of an inch. So 3 7/8, down 1/4 of an inch is 3 5/8. So that's going to be the width of my card. And then because it's 9, whoops, I need my, see, this has a nice little fold out here. And I'm going to cut this at, where do I want to cut it? I'm going to cut it at 8 3/4. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I have just moved from San Antonio to Iowa. I'm living with my daughter and her family, spending time with my grandchildren. And that's why I can't find my dies, because I have not labeled a box that said dies. So I have no idea where they are. I'm going to have to look. So I've got my base, and I'm going to attach using seal. I'm going to attach this card front to the Daffodil Delight. Excuse my arm. So I'm going to place these where I want them, and these are cut at 3 5/8 and 1 1/4, which is a little bit too big, but that's okay. Where'd the rest of my pieces go? Oh, they're here. So I'm just going to arrange them where I want to set them down. I think I am missing one. Oh no, here it is. Okay. And I'm overlapping them a little bit, and I'm turning them a little bit crooked. And then if you like what you see, then start placing them down. And I think I'm going to start at the top. And I'm just going to put 2 lines of seal on it, and I'm going to, I guess you can see. Well, that's probably down a little further than I planned, but that's okay. Each one of these will be individual. Yours won't look the same as mine. I absolutely love daffodils. Daffodils are my favorite springtime flower. They are so bright and cheery. Unfortunately, when I lived in New York, the deer liked them too, and they would snip off the heads like the day before they would fully blossom. And then we also have some new tulips in our catalog, and they would come and snip off the tulip heads the day after they bloomed. So I never really had full blooms of daffodils or tulips, but they remain my favorite flowers. And this is a good way to showcase your, oh, and now I'm out of that. So excuse me a minute while I change my cartridge. Easy enough, you just lift out the seal and place the new one in. It's got little holes for it to go in so that you'll know when it's seated properly. And then you're all set to go again. Okay, so here is, so here is the finished front of my card. And again, I'm going to say that I'm very disappointed that I can't find my dies, because I was planning on putting a nice big daffodil up in here. But enough about that. Let me stamp my trellis. That's what I'm choosing to call it. And we're going to be very carefully tap, tap, tap. And then you can check and see what kind of color you've got. And make sure to place it down firmly but evenly. And just press on it a little bit and then lift straight up, and you've got a beautiful trellis. And I'm going to bring in my Stampin' scrub. I like to clean off my stamps as soon as I use them. And we'll set that aside, and we'll set this color aside. And then I'm going to stamp the daffodil in our Memento Tuxedo Black. And I want to stamp it all up and make sure that I've got it all covered. And then I'm going to place it down on my piece of, this is very vanilla cardstock. Now, with the Memento, you want to let it sit a minute. It's a different kind of ink. Press it. We want that ink to sink down into the paper. And then lift it up, and there you've got it. And then we'll clean it off. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my different pens. And I'm going to color the majority of the flower in Daffodil Delight. Now these are an alcohol-based ink, and the Memento will keep them from bleeding into each other. And you can see that it does bleed through, but it doesn't bleed around in the flower. You've got a brush tip and a fine point. I prefer to use the brush tip, but there are a lot of people very successful doing the same thing I'm doing with the pencil point. And I'll show you. Oh, and it shows you this side is the fat one, brush, and this is the thin one. And let me show you again, if I can open it. Here is the fine point. I'm going to be cutting this out so you can see that you get a nice line with that. So that was Daffodil Delight Light. Now I'm going to use, I forgot I can't use that side. This is Mango Melody. Nope, I think that one is actually dead. And that happens. And so is that. Well, when that happens, you just order a new set. They come in a set of 2, light and dark. And $9. And they last a long time. And I have actually used these quite a bit. So now I'm going to color with the light Mossy Meadow. Color my stems. And another nice thing about these is that you can blend them. Now I'm going to use the dark. But if I wanted to put down the light and then have lines along the edges to make it a little more dimensional, and I see that I have gotten some color where I didn't want it. So I'm going to use my color lifter to try to blend that out. At least make it lighter and less noticeable. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. Should only take me a minute or two. Remember that when you're cutting, you're going to be turning the paper, not your scissors. And this is something that I taught for many years in 1st and 2nd grade. So I've had plenty of, teaching 1st and 2nd grade. I wasn't in 1st and 2nd grade for many years. But you can just roughly cut out around. Our paper snips are good value at only $10, and they can cut out the most intricate designs because they cut right up. All right, let me show you. They cut right up as far as the end of the blade. Maybe I can show you a little better with this. It'll cut right up into that spot, and then I'm able to go and pick up the rest. We've had some exciting business here in Iowa. My son-in-law contracted COVID, and he's been isolated all weekend in his bedroom. And the rest of us have taken 2 rapid tests, and we're all negative. So, and the most of my time is spent in the basement. Not that they have confined me to the basement. It is a very large room, and I've got more crafting room here than I had in San Antonio. So I've got my things spread out. Okay, so there's our daffodil. Now we're going to use our trimmer once again, because I want to trim this trellis down. And I'm just going to place it. This is going to be eyeballing it. Whoops, and I just moved it. Not bad. Trim it across the end. Trim it again. And this should be easier because it would be squared off. I think I got it a little closer on this side. Okay, so I am going to adhere the daffodil using seal to the front of the trellis. And put it right about in the middle. Then I'm going to use dimensionals, if I can find some. I have tons of dimensionals, but can I find the right size? No. Okay, we'll take it here. Going to put one at each end, and then I think I'm going to put two in the middle to give it a little more stability. We don't want any soggy middles. And take off those little pieces so that we can get it to stick. And here we go. Put it right on there. And there's our card. And I realize I've been cutting upside down, coloring upside down. Now, like I said, you can put your own sentiment on there. I didn't put any. This might be a nice card for Mother's Day. You could use other papers, but this is going to be in our mini catalog, January to June. That comes out on Tuesday. Let's see if I got the dates right. Yes, January to June, and it will go live on Tuesday. Oh, hi, Gail. Nice to see you. And here is the mini catalog. I'll be working with this as well one of these days. And then we've got all kinds of fun things in here. And I'm going to use this green envelope. Okay, here's a clue. Before you go on live with something, make sure that it's the right size for the envelope. So instead of 3 7/8, I'm going to go 3 5/8 so that it will fit in the envelope. And I think that I should have checked that out, but I got the dimensions from a YouTube. So that's it for today, my first broadcast from Iowa, and I will be here with you next Sunday as well. And we also will have a new feature. We are going to have Chloe Stamps with Grammy.
Chloe Crafts with Grammy.
Oh, excuse me, Chloe Crafts with Grammy. So that Chloe and Grammy are going to create something, and I'm going to let her design her own piece that we will then showcase for you with some of our new products. So stay tuned. We've got a lot coming up, and if you've already gotten your catalogs in the mail, you know what great products are inside. And I'm going to leave you now to have a happy stamping week and Happy New Year to everyone. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.